So Allah says in verse number 147 of Surah An-Nisa, He tells us something. He says, Allah doesn't want to punish you. He doesn't need to punish you. He's not gaining anything by punishing you. So Allah says, مَا يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ بِعَذَابِكُمْ إِن شَكَرْتُمْ وَآمَنْتُمْ. What is Allah going to do by punishing you? If you are going to be thankful and you are going to believe. Which means if you want to save yourself from the punishment of Allah, you need to be thankful. Show gratitude to Allah. By doing what? You know, we are taught to say, Allahumma lakal hamdu wa lakal shukr. Oh Allah, for you belongs all praise and all thanks. Oh Allah, for you belongs all praise and all thanks. But that's not enough. We cannot just say things and not mean it. How many of us use the word, I love you, when you don't love someone? Let's be honest. You see the laughter? Can you hear it happening here? You know you've deceived people by telling them I love you and you don't love them. Just because you want to get to them, perhaps in an immoral way. So you say, I love you. And like I said the other day, perhaps you might add some tajweed to that to try and make it sound true. I love you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. So there is no point in someone saying, I love you, when their life is being led in the direction of hatred towards that person. Similarly, there is no point in someone saying, oh Allah, I thank you for everything you've given me, but there's no salah, there's no zakah, there's no proper dress code, we don't get out of the clubs, we are not people who leave and quit pornography and all the bad habits for the sake of Allah. Even if you don't say, I love you, you know, our parents and grandparents, I'm sure a lot of you would admit, have you ever heard them tell each other, I love you? I don't think so. But they loved each other more than you and I love our own spouses. Do you see? Because they knew that, look, it's got to do with the value of the relationship. It's not got to do with a mere statement. Today, even if you say it 1,000 times, your wife will say, I don't believe you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. So my brothers and sisters, it's extremely interesting that for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is more important, prove yourself by getting up for salah, by fulfilling your duties unto Allah. Read the Quran, recite it, go through its meaning, prepare for the day you meet with Allah, and also declare the praise of Allah through your tongue. That is also important, but it's not the only thing. Remember that. So this is a very important verse for us to save ourselves from the punishment. Allah says, what is Allah going to do by punishing you if you are thankful and if you believe? May Allah grant us that. Ameen. Then it's important for us to know that backbiting is prohibited. We all know that. But sometimes if someone does something bad to you and you want to seek justice, or you want to warn the other people about the bad that this person has done to you, are you allowed to talk about it? The answer is yes. It's not backbiting. Imagine you go to report someone to the police and you've been beaten up, or someone has done something wrong to you, and you go there and you say, someone did something wrong to me, but I can't talk because it'll be backbiting. You cannot do that. Or someone asks you, there are two things that you need to be very honest about. You will be punished if you are not honest. When someone asks you the opinion of another person when they want to get married to the person, you have to be brutally honest. There's no backbiting in that regard. You have to be brutally honest. And when someone is asking you your opinion because they want to enter into a business transaction with someone and you have had previous experience, it is your duty to be brutally honest. Look, brother, I did a deal with this man and he robbed me for $20,000. Straight. Look, you can find out from others, but with me, I had a raw deal and I'm just letting you know. Let them have the information without wanting to, or without telling them, no, don't do this, and he's a terrible man, he's a crook, he's a this, he's a that. Mention what happened and stop there. So the idea must only be to inform them so that they can be aware. That's it. It's not to belittle someone else. Remember that. The same applies if you were married to someone and someone else wants to marry them and you know they are on drugs. My parents, listen to this. If you know your child is on drugs, wallahi, it's haram to hide it from someone who wants to get married to your child, thinking that never mind, as it is, everyone is on weed, isn't it? Remember, I told you before, the only weed that's permissible for Muslimin is tajweed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us. The rest of the weed we don't know about. It's not permissible. You cannot say it. So be brutally honest. Look, it's my son. We've had an issue with him regarding substance abuse. MashaAllah, we went for rehab and I'm quite sure he is safe and he is out of that. Or you can be honest. Look, he's got a problem and this is his bad habit. If you know it, never hide. Parents, sometimes lose their hereafter by lying about their children to make them seem like they are all, saintly and godly, not being honest because they just want the child to get married. You have issued a death sentence to someone else's daughter sometimes. You have you have punished someone else for no reason. They might have had children with your child and you knew all along and you lied. So Allah says, be honest in this regard. There is no backbiting. Don't come and say, I didn't tell you, because that would have been backbiting, man. Allahu Akbar. The man's got 2 children outside of wedlock and you didn't say it. Come on, why not? No, it would be backbiting. Now you've suddenly become so holy and pious, but you don't even read your salah. You don't even fulfill zakah. You're not even interested. You're on the bottle every other day. May Allah forgive us. May Allah help us. Save yourselves from all these bad habits in order to earn the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us, verse number 148, Surah An-Nisa. لا يحب الله الجهر بالسوء من القول. Allah does not like for someone to openly utter bad in speech regarding someone else. إِلَّا مَنْ ظُلِمْ, except for the one who was oppressed. You are oppressed, you have every right to go and seek justice, to let others know this is what happened to me. I'm not talking about a third party and fourth party. That you're not allowed. That's backbiting. But I am talking about first party, second party. You are allowed to speak about someone you had first-hand dealings with and you know this person is bad, or you know that they have some quality in them that is dangerous. It's up to you to let the people know for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like I said, not to belittle someone, but to save the others. You want to save yourself from harm, you would appreciate it if someone else warned you in advance regarding these 2 issues. Similarly, you should warn others in advance regarding the same 2 issues. Never lie in this regard. May Allah forgive us. I know of so many cases of marriages that have taken place and the people are suffering just because there was lies before the marriage. They covered up in a very big way for the sins and the bad habits and characters of one of the 2 of them or both of them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not make us from among those. Ameen.